I mean, I wasn't raised Christian at all. I was, I guess you could say, a basic statistical kind of background. My mom and dad were not married. My dad was kind of a gangster. My mom was his ride or die. And fun fact, I actually was born in Staten Island, New York, but I was raised in North Carolina, Charlotte, up until 18. But that's because my dad was on the run for murder. Wow. So that's how we ended up transitioning to North Carolina. Wow. And so, you know, I grew up pretty much rough. I mean, when I look at it now as a mother and as an adult, spiritually, very unprotected. You know, we're kind of born into the spiritual war, and I feel like I kind of came into it wolves gnawing at my feet before I could even register what was happening, but the Lord was faithful.
Well, and you went through some traumatic things. Again, you're someone who didn't really grow up maybe going to church or knowing the Lord or reading the Word. And so at 15, you actually found yourself pregnant. What happened?
Well, we know what happened.
We know what caused it. I really don't. I really don't know what happened, but anyway, what happened after you found out you were pregnant?
Right, so obviously I shouldn't even be pregnant at 15, respectfully. Right. And so my dad, this is crazy, I was laying in the bed. My dad had a big king-size bed, so I'm on one side of the bed, he's on another, and I'm asleep. And he's sitting at the edge of the bed. And he says to me, I wake up, and he looks at me, he says, "You're pregnant." Oh. And I'm like, he said, "I know you are, I could feel it. You're pregnant." So I get up, I wash the dishes, and he comes to me and he rubs my stomach. And he's like, "You can't have this baby. You can't." Wow. And in his mind, he was trying to protect me, you know? But I don't think he understood the severity of getting an abortion. Like, it's a cost to pay when you do that. And so I remember him saying, you know, "You gotta go and get it." And so the next day he had scheduled it, and his girlfriend took me to get an abortion.
So tell us just, if you would, what happened and how you felt before, during, and after.
I mean, I was young-minded, so I didn't know, obviously, how bad this was gonna be. I was scared. I went to the clinic. When the lady checked my stomach, I was 3 months and 5 days pregnant. I asked her if I could see the sonogram, and she said no. And so I kind of felt like, dang, there's no option. There was no option of escape, so I thought. And so I had the abortion. Now you have to understand, I'm already lost. I don't know Christ. Right. So any person who don't know Christ, they're going to suffer from some sort of God-sized hole depression. Right. Now, and I'm only 15.
Yeah.
Now I have an abortion. Right. So now I'm in the abyss emotionally. And so after the abortion happens, I'm thinking things will go back to normal, but they didn't. I just catapulted into like severe depression. It was so, like, my dad would look at me sometimes and he would ponder and he would ask me, like, "You okay?" And I would just make up a story because I really didn't know how to identify what was wrong with me. But now looking back at it, I was severely depressed.
So you don't know the Lord at that point. So when did you finally come to know the Lord, Bevelyn? Tell us about that.
Right. So I was around 20, 21 at this time. And I thought I was at like the height of my life. I'm beautiful. I'm living in Brooklyn. I'm cute. I could get any man I want. I'm living, got a nice little apartment, got a little money. Getting my money illegally. I was scamming. Okay. And
she still wasn't saved. Okay. She didn't know Jesus. That's right.
Listen,
you're doing what unsaved people do.
And some saved folk claim they say they be doing that too, so they gotta repent.
That's right.
But anyway.
That's right.
So, I'm just doing wrong. Fast money, men, obviously, like, what happened after I got my first abortion? I took on a Jezebel spirit. But now, the Jezebel spirit of today, like the bald head, the unshaved arms, I don't know what that is, but I wasn't that. I was giving you Delilah. Mm-hmm. I was going to be everything that a man wanted and desired, and I was going to use them the way I felt like they used me. Mm-hmm. I was going to get them first before they got me. Yeah. So my mentality was money. If you're not coming to pay a bill, if you don't got no money for me, I got nothing for you. So I was more of that type of chick.
Yeah.
And so now I'm at the height of it, but again, I'm still depressed. I'm still unhappy. I'm still empty.
You're still a void.
Right. So I'm at the bar with my friends, and we drinking. And so I come back to my apartment, and I go in the bathroom. And my roommate's in another room, so I turn on the water because I didn't like for people to see me cry. And I'm just crying out. And I'm crying to God. And I'm just like, Lord, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm miserable. And I think that was my come-to moment, because I think that's hard for a lot of people to even acknowledge they're miserable.
Yeah.
So after that, I think 2 weeks later, I'm locked up for a scam that I did with Bloomingdale's. And I'm in the jail. Now, this is the fun fact. I get bailed out. Actually, I was dating a guy that was an officer at Rikers Island, where I was locked up at, and he bailed me out. So now I get out, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh, well, I'm good. I just got to find out a better way to finesse. But, I'll do it again. The police come knocking on my door a week later, and they arrest me for the same thing twice. It was like a double jeopardy, but something had happened, a rig in their system, to where they had, like, basically, even though when I got arrested, I had pleaded guilty immediately. I didn't waste time with no trial. I was guilty. Why waste the court's time? And so I had already got my punishment, my 5 years probation. That's it. The next week, they come back, and they recharge me. I don't know what it was. It was like a glitch in the system. So now I go back to jail. They take me back. This time, I'm devastated. Girl, I was a bougie criminal. I'm not about to be sitting on Rikers Island. It's dirty. People sleeping on concrete floor. I'm like, girl, I'm grabbing my pearls, honey. This ain't it. Baby, I can't jail. I couldn't do it. So now I'm back. I'm like, I just got out of this. I'm in this filthy place again. And I'm just like, God, what's happening? Like, I'm devastated. And I see this woman. Now, when you get locked up, God forbid you ever do, people know you by your paperwork. They know why you're there. You know what I mean? And so there's this woman there, and I don't know, like, she's an older woman, Middle Eastern, and nobody knows why she's there. Like, you asking questions like, why is she here? No one knows. And so the woman was older, and she didn't fit. It's like, why is she here? She don't look like she belonged here. So I go up to the woman, and I introduce myself. She's a mute. So she writes. Instead, she can hear you, but she writes. And so I introduce myself, how you doing? And tell her my name. And she kind of looks at me intently. And it's like awkward silence. And then she writes on the paper, you need to surrender your life to Christ. You're headed towards death. And then she tells me about that night I was in that bathroom crying.
Wow.
So now I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Like, how could she know this?
That's called the gifts of the Spirit.
Yeah. Right.
Very spiritual, what we're talking about.
Yeah. So now I'm stuck, like, and only God could have told her this. So in my mind, God is talking to me, right? So now she tells me, there's nothing left for me but death. I've experienced everything else but death. I need to surrender. And she said, you're going to get it the worst because you know better. I'm going to tell you what she meant. The word of God is written on our hearts. There was never a time in my mind where I got an abortion and thought, oh, wonderful, it's healthcare. Not every girl wakes up one day and decides, hey, I want to have an abortion. Or, hey, I want to be a prostitute. Or I want to be a scammer. People don't wake up like that, desiring that.
Or even to say, I want to be an alcoholic.
Right.
You know, it happens, but nobody says that's my goal.
Right. That's the result of a broken heart.
That's right.
And most people that make these terrible decisions, it's a survival mindset.
So
they don't know that there's a God that can help them and deliver them. So they're just like, listen, I got to get from point A to point B. You know, get it how you live. And so when you decide to really make Christ your Lord, you're really making him Lord of all executive decisions that you make. And clearly at this point, they were all bad. They didn't really work out well, so I'm not really good at being an executive of my own life. So now he has to be Lord. He is Lord. I always knew Jesus was Lord, but now he has to be Lord of my life.
And now the surrender comes.
Correct.
The real surrender.
Correct. And the thing about me is I'm an all-in type of girl.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be all in sin, we going to party.
Yeah.
And now if I'm going to be all in save, we going to party.
That's
We're
right.
going to serve the Lord full in spirit and in
So
truth.
you said okay, and he showed up.
He showed up, but baby, tested. Like, I had to, this is what I love about new Christians, and I've seen that while I was in prison when I was ministering to my bunkie. The Lord will move so quickly for a baby Christian because he wants to show them what he's capable of doing.
He'll show up and show out.
Right. But only for a little time. Then eventually it's that drought. Basically, like, listen, I done showed you what I'm capable of. Now you got to believe it.
Yeah, so now to get in my word, you got to begin to grow.
Right.
Family, if you're feeling inspired by this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment what's on your heart today. And don't forget to share this content with someone who needs to be uplifted so we can continue to be a light together.